Say this is Channel 7 News on Channel 8. Our first report is from Hunter Zako. Take it over, Hunter.
Thanks, Tanner. Today we have reached a new high in the Cold War tensions. Breaking news last night that there was a wall built in Berlin and separates East Berlin and West Germany. It happened in the middle of the night, and when people were sleeping, when they woke up, whatever side they were on, they would have to stay there for several years. We're still getting updates, but keep you updated on further details. We're also getting reports on a U.S. spy that has been captured by Russians, and the Soviets have forced Dwight Eisenhower to admit that he's been spying on the Russians for several years, and we're trying right now to get a swap from prisoners right now, but I'll keep you updated on that, how that goes also. And then there's also an arms race going on, which is a battle of nuclear weapons, and this is not a battle you would want to lose. And because of that, there's a space race going on, which is battle to get the first man on the moon. I wonder who's going to stick their flag in the moon first. If the Soviets weren't busy enough, they also have invading Afghanistan. They're doing this to conquer the most part of Asia and win the Cold War. We'll keep you updated on a busy day. But for now, back to you, Tana, in the studio.
Thank you, Hunter. Today we're going to take a look back and talk a little about the South Korean War. So basically, Korea is split into two parts, North and South, and that split's known as the 38th parallel. That's pretty much right in between them. And in between them is the demilitarized zone. It's right smack dab, the 38th parallel. And the Korean War wasn't fought over land or people. They were fighting how they wanted to be ran. North wanted communism, the South wanted democratic. USSR helped stop the North from becoming democratic, and the US helped stop the South from becoming communist. US General MacArthur wanted permission from Truman to bomb the communist China. Truman didn't give him permission to, and they basically got over an argument, and Truman fired him and replaced him with General Matthew Ridgway. China got in the war when they started to see that North was getting their butt kicked by the US and the South. They jumped in and helped push back the US and South and made them retreat. And then the UN invaded on the port of Incheon. The UN pushed up north and helped break the North supply line. And they also helped take back the South's capital, Seoul. And that's about it for the Korean War. Now we'll take a commercial break.
Shut up.
Here, you just think you're great.
Give that. No, give that.
Here, wait, I think I have one more.
Oh, thank you.
You better now?
Yeah.
Yeah, eat a Snickers. Yeah, funny. Welcome back. Americans are going to send it off to our third report from Zach.
Thanks, Tanner. Today we're going to talk about the Cuban Missile Crisis. The plan for the invasion of the two Cuban air bases was that 14,000 men, or 1,400 men, were going undercover and were going to launch a surprise attack that was later called the Bay of Pigs. U.S. dropped paratroops down to control transportation and weaken the Cuban army. Then they would land troops on the east coast of Cuba to create confusion. The plan succeeded. The civilians would join up with the invaders. On the day of the invasion, the U.S. sent 8 A-26 bombers, painted as Cuban airplanes. The planes missed most of their targets, and John F. Kennedy called off the second strike. Then Kennedy and coastal locations for the USSR wanted to put missiles in Cuba since the US had missiles in Turkey. By putting missiles in Cuba, they would hold a strategic advantage. Castro was the leader of Cuba when all this stuff happened. He knew that it was coming, so that's why he sent his troops to the south to stop the US. The US blockade was announced on the 22nd of October in 1962. The blockade was around the invaded island, prevented offensive weapons from entering Castro's state. Kennedy also warned Soviets that any nuclear attack from Cuba would be taken as an act of war, and the United States would retaliate in kind. There you go, folks. Sending it over to America and Russia.
Thanks, Zach. Today marks the day of the collapse of the Soviet Union, which was led by the Bolsheviks, which was also led by Vladimir Lenin. So let's talk about how Russia got that way. Two revolutions swept through Russia, ending imperial rule and many social and political changes, which would lead to the formation of the Soviet Union. Lenin led one of the bloodiest revolutions against Russia in October on the 24th and 25th in 1917. He was later replaced by Joseph Stalin after he died of a third heart attack. Stalin basically had Leon Trotsky killed, who was more favored to take the place over Lenin. And under him, the Soviet Union transformed from a pleasant society into an industrial and military superpower. Stalin had a purge, which is a political campaign in the Soviet Union by Joseph Stalin from 1934 to 1940. He also had something called gulags, which were basically concentration camps. They were put in shortly after the 1917 revolution. One of the bigger ones lied in the North Atlantic and Siberia. Later, after Stalin died of cerebral hemorrhage on March 5th, 1953, the new leader said that Stalin had been unchallenged in power for more than 30 years, and how that Stalin was not the savior of the Soviet Union during World War II. He also said that Stalin put the Soviet Union in danger by ignoring threats that Hitler imposed. Finally, the collapse came in December 1991. As the world watched it be separated into 15 different countries. Many countries were happy about this, including the U.S., because this was the end of the Cold War. That's all I have for you folks today. Let's take it back over to Tammy.
Thanks for tuning in to Channel 7 News on Channel 8. Have a good night.